Hello friends, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another day of Vlogtober. If you're new here, I'm Shawon, and in today's video we are going to have a cook with me day. We are going to be making one of my favorites from my mom's favorite recipes binder. I've had this binder for a very long time. I was thumbing through and I saw some of the recipes dating back to 2009. Oh my goodness. This notebook has been through the throughs. It was my system that I used when I homeschooled my kids. And wow, we have a lot of favorite recipes stored in this binder. This is exactly how it was like over in our entertainment center area. And yeah, I always, even though it looks so disorganized, it's kind of an organized mess because I really know how to find things when I'm looking for a recipe that's one of our favorites. Today, I am going to make this Taste of Home recipe, and this is called cheesy corn spoon bread. I'm going to be making this. I'm also going to be making another recipe. I'm going to be making a quick like stovetop chili for dinner tonight. And yeah, oh my gosh, so many memories as I go back through this binder. I used to, when I was a homeschool and stay-at-home mom and started my business part-time, I used to have these monthly menus. Can you see that? These monthly menus. So this was for October. I would literally write out the entire month's plan of recipes that we were going to have. It really saved me time to be able to just sit down all at once and write out everything that we were going to have. And I think when I think about some of the ways that I have set up my business, so many things that I did as a stay-at-home mom, I have incorporated into my business, especially when it comes to organization. I could just think about like having a social media plan and writing out what I'm doing on each day. Well, I did that with the meal plan system that I used to use when I was home with all of my kids. And let's see, oh my gosh, I remember too, as I'm going down memory lane, I'm like also getting to I had a couple of pages. I don't know if these two are the same. No, actually, are they the same? Oh, yeah, they are the same. They are the same. But what I began to do too was just write out as many meals as I could think of, write them down like on a grid. So this saved me even more time. I could come and look on the grid as I'm working through, let's say October, right? I could go and pull off chicken broccoli braid. Oh my gosh, that was such a good recipe from Pampered Chef. Do you guys remember Pampered Chef? I know they're still around, but they had a really good recipe called the chicken broccoli braid. So that was one of my recipes on here. We had sloppy joes, chicken salad. Let's see, we still do chicken salad. I keep that in the fridge for quick lunches. Sometimes a dinner might happen with chicken salad. Let's see here. Turkey burgers were on here. Breakfast for dinner. We still do breakfast for dinner. That used to be our Thursday night dinner. We still do that. Occasionally, we'll still have breakfast for dinner during the week. But oh my goodness, so many walks down memory lane as I pulled out this binder today and to get this recipe out. One of my kiddos mentioned having some chili for this week, and I thought, yeah, let me do that. And chili is a 2-day meal. I love 2-day meals. In the last video, I was talking about using HelloFresh and not having those leftovers. Like, I like to have leftovers. It's so funny. My kids used to ask when we would have dinner, Mom, is this a 2-day meal? So chili is definitely a 2-day meal for us. And I am going to, yeah, we're going to get cooking. I think I'm going to get everything chopped up and measured out. That seemed to help a lot when I did an apple pie. Just to kind of have things organized. That's not typically the way that I cook. I just kind of like grab what I need, chop the vegetables, dump them in. But for making this video, I think it's better if I kind of have things a little more organized, and then that way I can hang out and talk with you a little bit too. So I'm going to get things all chopped up. If you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive into this chili making and cheesy corn spoon bread making vlog. I am starting on the chili first. I have some ground beef going here, and I like to layer the seasonings in. So I season the meat, and I'm also going to season the vegetables in a second too when I start sauteing them. Typically I would do this in the crock pot and just let it cook all day after I cook the meat, obviously. But you can also do this on the stove top, which I'm doing tonight. And I'm going to let the meat just keep browning here. For seasonings, I just use some onion powder, some ground cumin, some chili powder is in here, some garlic powder, some pepper, and I'm going to put a little salt in too. And some salt. All right, I'm going to let that keep cooking. This is a nice 2-day meal, as I mentioned, and it's also great in the fall to have some chili too. Although it's not going to be as cool this week for us, but all right, let me move this over a bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing, perhaps. All right, that is still going. I am going to now get some veggies going in here. I used to have this recipe in my binder that I show you guys, but I don't know what happened to the recipe. But I kind of remember it off the top of my head. So I put a little olive oil in my Dutch oven here. Gonna let that heat up. And we're gonna be adding in, to get these vegetables nice and tender, we're gonna be adding in some garlic, some red pepper, and some red bell pepper too. Supposed to be a Southwest chili, so a little bit different in terms of vegetables for a regular chili. This is cooking up nicely here. I'm a little bit behind on getting this finished. You know why? Because, I hope you can hear me. Let me put my mic right here. But I was saying I'm a little bit behind on getting our dinner fixed because I forgot to get the meat. So I was getting ready to put everything together and it's like, okay, we might have to have vegetarian chili, and I got thumbs down for that. So I was like, honey, can you go to the store? So we went out and grabbed some beef for us. So we'll not have meatless chili. I think it would have tasted well, but it's all right. Or it tasted good. All right, I think this is pretty warm. Actually, I'm going to put another little drizzle in. Whoops. See, this is why I like to wear an apron when I cook. At least when I remember to put one on. Because I can't tell you how many times I've gotten splattered cooking something. good. Let me clean that up. All right, so the oil is almost heated up here. I'm gonna move this guy over. You kind of see what I got going on here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add the garlic because I don't want it to burn. I don't want it to be too hot. Oops. Let's bring that over. All right, get our garlic nice and fragrant in there. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to add the red onion now. Add that in. Usually if I'm doing this in the crock pot, I'll just let these get tender. I'll still do this, saute them up a bit. Let that cook down. We'll let it cook a bit. How's that smell? Do you smell it? Smells good. All right, I'll let that keep going. This is for the cheesy bread, but I'm just going to add a little bit of this onion too. There I go humming again. So what are some of your favorite fall foods? I would say this is a comfort food for us. What's a favorite fall food or favorite comfort food in the fall? You know, when fall rolls around, I'm not really wanting a salad. Definitely something that's warm, so chili, soup. I actually started picking my soup up again for lunch at the studio. Today I picked up some chicken noodle soup as well as some tomato basil soup. Definitely love the warmer, comforty feeling food in the fall and winter time. The ground beef looks good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add in our red bell pepper. You guys, I wish you could smell this. It smells so yummy. You could also add yellow bell pepper in this too. Make sure you can see this. I almost picked some up today, but I was like, oh, I'll just do red and be okay. All right, our ground beef is all ready. So let's just let that hang out there. I hope the lens isn't steaming up. Check. That looks good. Looks pretty yummy. Yum, yum. All right, I am now going to add a can of diced tomato. Here. Get that going. And I'm also going to add some black beans. That's the Southwest chili part. And I'm gonna layer in some ground cumin. It's because I want this to be nicely seasoned. And a little bit of chili powder. And let's add in a little salt. And a little pepper. Now we're gonna layer in a few more things. We're gonna add some kidney beans and pinto beans. We're gonna leave that sauce in for these. You guys, I wish you could smell this. It just keeps getting better and better. I'm also going to add some corn in too. Let's just use this pan. I would say about a cup of corn. Sprinkle that in. Maybe that's not even a cup. Maybe that's like a third or fourth of a cup. All right, I am going to give this a nice little stir. Yum. Oh. Yummy. Look at that. Here, we're gonna add in an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. I may add in 16 ounces. I'm going to see what things look like once I add in my beef. Because once again, this is going to be a nice 2-day meal. And I think we're going to even have some leftovers in here. Did you hear that? Leftovers. All right, let's get our meat in. We got the meat in. All right, I'm going to give us another little layer of seasoning. We're going to give her a stir. Oh, you guys, this is like really good. I'm going to turn it down a bit. Let's go to low. And I think I will add that extra can of tomato sauce. One more can of tomato sauce. The vegetables really add so much flavor to this chili. Oh my goodness. All right, so I am going to just let her stay on, put it on maybe 2 or 3, so kind of medium low heat. We're gonna put a lid on, and now it's time to make our cheesy spoon bread is up next. All right, next up is our cheesy corn spoon bread recipe. I'm gonna get started on that. Oh my goodness, I just remembered when we used to do once a month cooking, we would take our recipes in the plastic sleeves that you saw in my binder, and we would take them on our cabinets, and we would pretend, I would have them pretending that we were a restaurant, and we would be preparing the recipes from the hanging recipe cards hanging from the cabinets. Oh my goodness. You remember doing that? When I used to take the recipes on for once a month cooking?
Yeah, I remember.
That's my son in the background. All right, let's go. All right, I'm gonna get this turned up, and we're gonna start with sauteing the onion in butter. So I have a medium onion here, 1/4 cup of butter. So that's 4 tablespoons of butter. Let's see. Let's get that going. And I may need to switch, well, hopefully you can still see that. Maybe I'll put this, well, it needs to be on this side. Let me bring the camera around. How about that? All right, we're gonna let this butter melt, and we will saute the onion and butter. So let's go ahead and add these guys in. All right, we're gonna saute these. Onions are sauteing, and we'll start on the filling portion. So I have 2 eggs already in here. I'm going to add sour cream. So we're going to add 16 ounces of sour cream. Add this whole guy in. Alright, let me take the onions off. They are ready. Let's check on the chili. It's looking good. Put it down to low. Oh wow, that smells good. Alright, we have 2 eggs, the sour cream. I'm going to add in a can of cream corn here. So a can of cream corn, and it also calls for a can of whole kernel corn, but I have instead a bag of corn. This is 16 ounces. So yeah, I think I'm good with adding this all in because I used some in the chili. Won't use completely all of it. That looks good. See what I mean? With cooking, I just eyeball things. Baking, you have to be precise. All right, let's see. Sour cream. Oh, you know what? I should have beat the eggs first. So let me whip my eggs up in here. So if you make this, remember to beat your eggs before you add everything else in. But they were kind of in a section by themselves, so that's an easy fix this time. All right, now I'm just going to mix this all up. I'm also going to add some salt and pepper. So the measurements are from the recipe: 1/4 teaspoon and a fourth teaspoon of pepper. And once again, I'm going to eyeball it. It's good. That feels good. All right. right, so we have our mixture here. So once again, that's the 2 eggs, the sour cream, the cream corn, and then the whole kernel corn too. It's all added. Now we are going to stir in some cornbread mix here. So for today, I don't even know how to pronounce this correctly. I'm gonna go with crustias, maybe, crusties. All right, we're gonna add our cornbread mix in. I've also used Jiffy before. I'm sure many times. I actually just started using this brand. I don't know how long, but every other time that I've made this, I know I've used Jiffy. All right, so we have the cornbread mix here. Now I'm going to stir it all up just until it's blended. Easy peasy. I'm gonna fold in the sauteed onion that we did. It also calls for jalapeno pepper, but I'm gonna not add it. I did get it, but I won't add it this time. I'll just leave it on the side. Just put that there for now. All right, let's grab some cheese before I put in the onion. I have a mix of cheese. I have a little bit of cheddar and some cheddar jack. So we're gonna blend it up. The recipe calls for 2 cups of shredded cheese divided. So 1.5 cups is gonna go into the mix here, and then the other remaining portion will go on the top of our cheesy corn spoon bread. All right, I'm gonna bring over our sauteed onion. There we go. With the butter, we're gonna add that all in. All right, we're gonna fold that in. All right, this is another one. This is a really good dish. One of our faves. That's why it's been in my mom's favorite recipe book for so long, and it will stay there and always be a favorite for sure. All right, that's all folded in. Now, I'm also going to, I should have waited to do that, but I'm gonna fold in the cheese too. And a half. All right, I'm gonna fold this cheese in too. All right, that looks great. Now I'm going to bring over my dish that I've already greased, and I'm ready to add our mixture to. All right, I'm gonna use this guy. And we are going to, make sure you can see this. Just pour it all in. This pairs well with the chili perfectly. All right, I'm just gonna kind of give it a smooth over. All right, it's ready. And now we'll sprinkle it with some cheese. Let's do a 1/2 cup of cheese on the top. Now it's all ready for the oven. We're gonna put it in the oven. The temperature is 375 for about 35 to 40 minutes. And we will get this in. All right, into the oven it goes.